Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking about you and your business. You'd think anything that would help protect families, individuals, and property from hurricanes would be encouraged. But we have a guest here today who's had quite the nightmare trying to help people with their what he calls safe domes in the state of Florida. Fascinating story. David Pressler is with the company called safedomes.com. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, and your company, that company is, I'm sure, a subsidiary of DRD Enterprises. Kind of give us an overview of what Safe Domes is all about.
Well, as a firefighter during Hurricane Andrew, it was evident that there was a need for a better, not only better construction, but more safe rooms. And after Hurricane Andrew, I began researching and found that there is a type of construction, the same method used to build in-ground concrete swimming pools, called monolithic concrete construction. And I began building 8-ton transportable monolithic concrete domes that are used every day as a shed. You put your lawnmower in it, your golf cart in it, bunk beds in it. But when a tornado hurricane comes down the road, you get in it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And when did you develop this?
Well, Hurricane Andrew was in 1992, and I built the first one in the latter part of 1993. Now, prior to that, back in 1983, I built a home using the same technique. A monolithic concrete home is framed out using steel rebar. Your roof, your walls, everything is framed out using rebar. Then you come back and you spray 4 inches of concrete over that rebar. Now you have a structure that's a monolithic structure, meaning there's no bearing walls. And if that house moves, the foundation, the walls, the roof, all has to be picked up in one single unit.
Wow.
And if it does, you're in some deep doo-doo.
Yeah, so it's about as strong and stable as any unit can be.
It's the future of construction. They're built, a monolithic concrete indestructible home can be built in 60 days or less and much cheaper than any construction today. And they're indestructible.
Interesting. Now, they were never designed, though, to be homes. They're meant entirely to be used for safety purposes.
Well, now we're talking two different things. The Safe Dome it's a shed. It's a shed that will save your life. But the same technique of building that shed can build your house. Mm-hmm. The dome is the strongest design because of the shape and design of a dome. Has no wind uplift, no wind resistance. So, for instance, the Safe Dome, any engineer I've spoken to says the worst scenario would be if the winds got above 250 miles an hour, that 8-ton dome may start sliding.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the situation with the state of Florida.
Well, that's again always evolving. I convinced my second wife to invest in a fish farm in Arcadia, Florida. Now, the intent of that farm was to take my concrete domes and create a solar power plant out of those concrete domes, and create an off-the-grid fish farm and also off-the-grid vertical hydroponic grow rooms. Within 45 days, and by the way, this farm I bought, was an existing greenbelt fish farm, and it should have been protected by the state of Florida, the Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Aquaculture. And unfortunately, DeSoto County came onto my farm within 40 days, looked at these concrete farm buildings, and said that my company was only purpose for building those concrete buildings were for resale, and put my farm out of business.
That's insane.
It is. And when I went to the state of Florida to uphold my farm rights, they did nothing. And now, because they did nothing, they have declared my company was manufacturing for resale on my fish farm. But yet, when I asked the Inspector General of Florida to provide the documents, the supporting evidence, to allow the state of Florida to make that accusation, there are none.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, why would it be a problem if it was for resale?
Well, you cannot manufacture. Your zoning for a farm is exactly that. It's a farm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start manufacturing tractors or whatever, you've violated the zoning ordinance.
Okay. And that's a state, not a city. That's a state zoning ordinance.
Yes. Farm is a farm, not a manufacturing site.
I don't think the state of Texas even has such silly things. I know Houston has the most liberal zoning laws of any city in the country. I don't care what size of city, and I think the state's probably among the most liberal, too. You should have built it here, buddy.
Well, and there you go. You live and learn. Unfortunately, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And it just never occurred to me that I bought a farm, and I am very knowledgeable about my rights here in Florida and on farms over the years. So I knew what I was doing was not against the law. And unfortunately, now we have the state of Florida doing a conspiracy and a cover-up.
A conspiracy and a cover-up.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what happens now?
Well, I have 11-acre fish farm, if you hear anybody looking for one. And I am now in the process of filing a federal obstruction of justice suit against the state of Florida, the Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Aquaculture.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. So, how are you fighting the battle? Do you have any legal help? Are you getting any support from any groups?
I am getting legal help via the internet, but unfortunately in Florida, there's a cap on any government entity that is being sued in the state of Florida is only liable for $200,000.
That's just ridiculous.
So any law firm...
So they can do unlimited damage, but are only liable to $200,000.
Exactly. If you want more than that,
that's why we need government to be in charge of more things, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a doctor's malpractice suit in places like England and Canada? No, because they're not profitable to even pursue for the exact same reason you just described. This is what happens when government takes over anything, is it allows itself to be unlimitedly reckless, but incredibly limited in its liability.
And that's what's going on. And then when, you approach a law firm and show them your grievance, they know right away, we can't spend any time because we're never going to get our money back.
Right.
And so David Pressler, pro bono myself, will see how the justice system works, and I will pursue the paperwork and do it all on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping eventually I will get some assistance from, you hear about ACLU helping people and advocate people, and so I'm on the internet every day trying to look for that person or group.
Wow, incredible story. What's the timeline on this?
Well, by law in Florida, you have to notify the Florida Insurance Company, which is the Florida Financial Services, 6 months before any suit is filed against any government agency in Florida, whether it be city, county, police department. So I notified the state of Florida of my upcoming suit about a month and a half ago. So I have about 5 months of searching for somebody out there who can at least guide me through the paperwork on where to submit and how to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, interesting conversation. There's this group called the Alliance Defending Freedom Group. I don't know if you've heard of them, but I think that they actually have several groups that are free market, private property, pro-family, kind of a conservative coalition that includes allies in the area of the property rights area, and they could probably refer you to someone.
Cool.
It's called AllianceDefendingFreedom.org is what I believe that they're called. I will do some. I'll do some checks of my own. But there are organizations out there defending property rights of individuals, and you certainly need to get one of those in your corner. Really appreciate you being on today. Thanks so much.
And listen, if you hear of anybody out there in your area taking a storm shelter and putting it under the ground, please try and talk them out of it. It's hard enough to find a victim underneath debris above ground.
Okay.
Call me, safedomes.com.
Safedomes.com. Thanks so much. I'm Kevin Price. This is The Price of Business.